kids. I'm Avery, and I'm really glad to meet you. Welcome to my big backyard. Come on in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Think. I have to remember.
Woo-hoo! Hello, Elvis. You appear to be thinking very hard about something.
Oh, good morning, Owl. Yes, I am trying to remember what is happening today. I woke up and I thought to myself, Elvis, something is happening today. But then I thought, and I couldn't remember what it was. So I borrowed Avery's calendar to try to figure it out.
That is quite the dilemma. Although that never happens to me, I remember everything.
I wish I could remember, and I wish I could read. I think Avery wrote down what was happening today right here, but I don't know what it says.
Why don't you ask the backyard friends? I'm sure some of them know how to read.
That's a great idea, Owl. Friends, can you read what this says? Take Elvis to the vet. Oh, no.
What's wrong, Elvis? Do you not enjoy going to the vet?
Well, Dr. Claudia is nice, but she makes me sit on this big white table, and then she pokes me in the ticklish spots, and then she asks me strange questions, and then sometimes she gives me a shot. Oh, I don't like shots.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound fun at all.
It's not too fun, but it's okay as long as Avery is with me. She stays with me the whole time and talks to me to calm me down. And if I have to get a shot, she holds my paw.
You know, Elvis, you are not a puppy anymore. Many animals, when they get older, do not need as much help as they did when they were babies. Do you think Avery would ever make you go to the vet by yourself?
That's silly, Owl. Avery would never leave me by myself at the vet. At least, I don't think she would.
You should prepare yourself, Elvis. Things change. Avery might not always be able to be there for you.
Really?
It's just the way of the world. Now, it's time for me to say good night.
Good night?
Owls are nocturnal, remember? That means we sleep during the day and are awake at night.
Oh, okay, right. Good night, Owl.
Farewell. Hoo-hoo.
What if what Owl said is true? What if Avery doesn't come to the vet with me? What if I am on that big white table all by myself with no one to hold my paw when Dr. Claudia gives me a shot? Nope, I just won't go. And I know just how to make sure of it.
Morning, Elvis. Are you ready to go visit Dr. Claudia? Elvis?
Sorry, Mum. Elvis isn't home right now. I believe he went down the street for a spot of tea. Toodaloo.
Elvis?
Howdy, partner. Elvis ain't here. He had somewhere to be at high noon. Anyhow, time for me to go roast some steer. Yeehaw!
Rope some steer? Elvis, buddy, will you please tell me what's going on?
Hey, dude. I think Elvis is catching a gnarly wave right now. Surf's up. Totally cool. I gotta go hang 10. Peace.
Elvis? Did you just call me dude? Friends, do you know what's up with Elvis? Oh, he doesn't want to go to the vet. Elvis!
No one home. Please try again later.
Elvis, I know you're in there. Please come out so we can talk.
Nothing to see here.
Aha! I found him.
Oops.
Elvis, why are you trying to hide from me?
Well, Avery, I just got all nervous about going to the vet. I was talking to Owl, and she said that I might have to go to the vet by myself today, without you, Avery, and that scared me. So I disguised myself so that I wouldn't have to go.
Oh, Elvis, you know that I would never leave you at the vet by yourself. I promise I'll be with you the whole time today.
But Owl said that sometimes things change. She said that one day you might not always be there for me.
Elvis, Owl is right that things do change. Even though I love you very much and will try to always be there for you, it's true that there might be a time that I can't be with you. That's because I'm human, and humans aren't perfect. There's really only one being in the whole world who has promised never to leave us or forsake us. And unlike me, he has the power to keep that promise.
Who, Avery?
I'm talking about God, Elvis. God is everywhere, and he tells his people that there is no place that they can go that he won't be.
So does that mean God is right here, right now in the backyard?
Yes, God is here in the backyard.
Is he in your house?
Yes, he's with me in my house.
Is God at the vet's office?
Elvis, God is in the places where we live and play, but he's also in the places that are scary to us. And knowing that helps us not to be afraid. You know, Elvis, I was just reading in the Bible a story about a man who discovered that God was with him in a pretty special way. You see, this man was in a place that he wasn't expecting God to be. But God was there, and God spoke to him in a way that would change his life forever. In the book of Genesis, there's a story of two brothers. One was named Jacob, and the other was named Esau. Esau was the older brother, and he was a hairy man who liked to be outside hunting. Jacob had smooth skin and preferred to be inside. Jacob was his mother's favorite, but their father Isaac preferred Esau. Isaac was growing old, and his eyes became weak, and he began losing his strength. He knew that he was going to die soon, so he called his oldest son Esau to his tent to bless him. However, Isaac's wife Rebekah overheard that he was planning to bless their oldest son, and because she loved Jacob more, she planned to trick Isaac into blessing Jacob instead. She dressed Jacob in Esau's clothes and covered his arms and neck with goat hair. Then she sent him into Isaac's tent to receive the blessing. Because Isaac couldn't see, he didn't know that it was Jacob. When he smelled Esau's clothes and touched the goat hair on Jacob's arms, he thought that it was Esau. He blessed Jacob and told him to prosper. When he had finished his blessing, Jacob left his father's tent. Soon after, Esau came in and presented himself. Isaac was surprised because he had already given the blessing of the firstborn. The two men realized that Jacob had tricked them. Esau was furious because Jacob had stolen his blessing. He decided that after their father had died, he would kill his brother. Rebekah heard about his plan to kill Jacob, and she was worried. She quickly told Jacob that he was in danger and to go to her brother Laban's house in Haran. until Esau was no longer angry. Jacob was very afraid, but he listened to his mother and left his family. He traveled all day and decided to rest once the sun had set. While he slept, God appeared to Jacob in a dream. In the dream, there was a stairway reaching towards heaven, and angels were going up and down the stairs. The Lord was standing at the top of the stairs and said, "I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go. I will never leave you, and through you all the world will be blessed." When Jacob woke up, he praised God and said, "The Lord was with me, even though I was afraid and did not know he was there." Jacob believed in God and promised to worship and obey him. Just like Jacob, we can also believe in God and trust him, even when we are afraid. He is with us wherever we go.
God, you have commanded that I be strong and brave. Oh, you say, 'cause you're always with me, I don't have to be afraid. Oh, and I'm sure you won't keep your love away. I know you're there wherever I go, and you're with me every time I feel alone. God, you care, and Father, you won't. No, you'll never ever leave me on my own. God, I know you're with me everywhere I go. God, you have commanded that I be strong and brave. Oh, so I'll trust in everything you say. I'll hide your word and seek your face always. Always. I know you're there wherever I go, and you're with me every time I feel alone. God, you care, and Father, you won't. No, you'll never ever leave me on my own. God, I know you're with me everywhere I go.
Hi, friends. I wonder what Jared is up to today. I found all of these empty soda cans outside the garage, and I bet he's using them for a new experiment. Let's find out.
Hey, Avery. Great. You grabbed some cans on your way in. Mind if I use one?
Sure. Did you drink all of these by yourself, Jared?
Almost all of them, but I may have had a little help from Elvis.
Caffeine overload detected.
So that's why he chased his tail for 3 hours straight. Okay, so what experiment has you drinking all this soda in one day?
Today, I want to conduct an experiment that shows how air pressure works, and I have the best idea of how to do that with one of these cans.
Sounds interesting. But what does air pressure mean?
Right, so let's define our terms. Do you agree that we're surrounded by air as we stand here in the Gadget Garage?
Well, of course we are. We're on Earth, and God gave Earth air called the atmosphere so that we can breathe.
Right, so far so good. So, the air around us is made up of molecules. Surprisingly, these molecules actually have weight that press down onto the Earth and everything on it. For example, I'll explain it in another way. As I hold my hand out, imagine a column of air, starting at my hand, going all the way up into the sky.
That's a lot of air on your hand, Jared.
Right. And normally we think of air as something that's weightless, but actually, the air in our imaginary column adds up to a very large amount of weight.
But we don't feel it. You don't seem to be struggling.
Correct. I'm not struggling due to the air on my hand because the air underneath and all around my hand is helping me. As a gas, and more generally as a fluid, the air around us exerts pressure in all directions. So not just on the top of my hand, but also below. So the weight and air pressure I should feel on top of my hand is counteracted by the same pressure underneath.
Okay, so as long as there's air pressure everywhere and all around us, we don't really notice it. But I still don't see what it has to do with the can.
I'll be using a can to demonstrate the effects of air pressure. First, I'll start by heating up some water inside the can. Make sure you don't touch this, Avery. It's going to get really hot. Okay, remember, air is all around us. We have to find a way to remove the air from the inside of the can so we can see the effects outside air pressure has on it.
Sounds fascinating. So, how do we remove the air from inside the can?
As the water inside the can begins to boil, steam will fill the can, and it will remove the air from the inside of it.
Really? So, if the air is leaving the can, then how will there still be pressure inside of the can?
Even though there's no air inside the can, the steam still pressurizes the inside walls the same way outside air pressure would do on it.
That's so interesting. So the can continues to have pressure on the inside and the outside, but now the pressure on the inside is because of the hot water and the steam. What happens next?
Jargon, is the water boiling yet?
Water boiled. Steam detected.
Awesome. Now, I'll flip the hot can into this bowl of ice water. Then we can see what effect the air pressure has on the outside of the can.
You've got this. I'm excited to see what happens.
Okay, here we go.
Whoa! I was not expecting that to pop.
Look, the air pressure crushed the can. It was able to do this because we removed the inside air pressure that normally counteracts with the outside air pressure. When I flipped the hot can into the bowl, the ice water almost instantaneously cooled the inside of the can, causing the steam to condense. This means that the steam no longer pressurized the inside walls. And as we saw, the outside air pressure acted pretty catastrophically for the can. Jargon, let's see that again in slow motion.
Wow, it's amazing to think about how powerful air pressure can be. We rarely think about air, even though we need it every second of our lives. Friends, what would the world be like without air? Birds and airplanes would fall from the sky. There would be no beautiful blue sky or sunsets. That's because the air particles that scatter the blue light from the sunshine would no longer be there, making the sky appear black. And what's worse is that all living creatures would not be able to breathe. That means that all plants, animals, and humans would die. God designed air perfectly so that we could have life.
Right, Avery. I'm so grateful to have air surrounding us everywhere we go.
Me too. Friends, what's something else that is with us everywhere we go, even though we might not think about it as often as we should? Yes, the presence of God. That means that God is everywhere and is in all things.
Joshua 1:9. Haven't I commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
Yes, that verse reminds us that we don't have to be afraid because our powerful Creator God is with us. Friends, sometimes it's hard to remember that God is always with us. However, let's think about this can. We don't always think about the effects of air pressure, but like this experiment showed, it is there, and it is very powerful. In the same way, God is always there, even when we're not thinking about Him or when we don't feel like He is with us.
Great connection, Avery. You know, I think I actually might have some soda left if you want some.
Ooh, yes, please. But no more soda for Elvis this time, Jared.
But his puppy eyes are so sad.
Jared.
Okay, I got it. Just for us.
See you next time, friends.
This bone just hits the spot. Thank you for giving me this bone, Avery.
You're welcome, Elvis. You deserve it for being so brave at the vet today.
It was easy to be brave because you were right there with me, Avery. You stayed by me and held my paw, even though Dr. Claudy had to give me a shot. I was pretty brave, wasn't I?
You definitely were, Elvis.
Avery, thank you for being with me. You're a good dog owner, and I like being your dog.
You're welcome, Elvis. I'm glad that you're my dog, too.
Today was a big day. I am ready for bed.
Today was a big day. I'm ready for bed, too. Good night, Elvis. Sweet dreams. Friends, thanks for joining us today. I'm glad that Elvis was able to be brave at the vet, even though he was scared. Friends, are there places in your life that you have to go that maybe are a little scary? Maybe you don't like going to the doctor's office. Or maybe going to school some days can be hard. Or maybe, like Jacob, you're moving to a new place and you don't know what it'll be like. Those things can be a little scary. But guess what? God has promised His children that there is no place in the whole wide world that we could go that He won't be there. God is everywhere. And more than that, He wants to speak to us so that we won't be afraid. Friends, go grab your Bibles and look up Joshua 1:9. This is a promise that God has given to His children. This verse has helped me during the scary times of my life, and I pray that it will help you be brave too, as you remember that your God is with you wherever you go. Well, I need to go to bed too. I need to get some rest because tomorrow is a brand new day, a day the Lord has made. Good night, friends. Whew, I'm glad I made it before the storm. It looks like it's really gonna rain out there.
Storm system detected.
Perfect. Our experiment for today is all about storms.
No way, that's so cool. Friends, join us on our next adventure as we talk about storms, both the ones in nature and the ones that happen in people's lives. We're going to learn about my favorite story in the Bible, about a young man who had some pretty big storms happen in his life. Plus, I think Elvis has a musical spectacular planned in the backyard. This will be an adventure that we won't soon forget.
Speaking of forgetting, where did I put my kite?
Your kite? This is going to be interesting. See you soon, friends.